Hello everyone, Crash here, this is RTA Motorsports. Today we're going to be unboxing this Zotac behemoth, the new RTX 4090 for my sim rig. Here we go. All right, everyone, so finally, let's jump into the packaging for the Zotac RTX 4090. Now, again, this is the Zotac Gaming Trinity card. They also have the OC. Couldn't get my hands on the OC. And funny enough, my 3090 that I have in my system is also a Zotac card. I didn't mean for this to happen. I was just trying to get whatever 4090 I could get my hands on, and it just so happened it's a Zotac card. Again, I'm happy with my 3090, so I am not unhappy that we got our hands on this. So I do gotta say the packaging in size is about the same as the 3090. I was expecting a very large box. Not what I received at all. A decently sized package, has a lot of heft to it, is definitely a little bit heavier than the 3090 as far as the packaging goes. But overall, I gotta say the box has a nice satin look to it. It definitely screams premium. And yeah, so let's go over some of the packaging here. They do have their new Ice Storm 3.0 GPU cooling on there. One thing that we're going to go into is the size of the cooler versus the size of the actual PCB. I'm sure you've probably all seen that in a lot of reviews here. Using Spectra 2.0 RGB, we're going to be using the Firestorm software that we already have installed on the system for my 3090, also being a Zotac card. This card here actually has a dual BIOS. Now, I have not tested dual BIOS before. I know they do have different profiles and one on each. So I'm not really sure how much use I'm actually going to get out of that. But being that I use my system not only for testing, but also for streaming and video production, we might be able to, tap into that a little bit just to see what it can give us as far as performance. It does mention on here that there is a quieter performance or a cooler temperature feature. I don't know what that actually means. It says go to quieter performance or cooler temperatures. Not really sure what they're talking about there, but that's in reference to the dual BIOS. So I guess maybe they already have some presets set up there. And then it says freeze, fan stop when GPU is idle. That's been pretty standard for quite a while now. Is of course a part of the 3090 there. Now, one thing again with these cards that I'm excited about too is they have AV1 encoders built in too. So in the future, we're going to be testing that and how that actually performs in relation to live streaming and video production, because I know a lot of you guys and gals have some channels as well. So that's going to be awesome. We do have 24 gigs of VRAM, same as what we have on our 3090, but let's go into some more comparisons here. Now, the boost clock on the 3090, mine specifically boosts just above 1800 megahertz whenever I'm doing any sort of benchmarks or anything like that. Of course, I have to have my fan speed boosted to 100 to really hit that, but it does boost just above 1800 megahertz, but the stated boost clock on the 3090 is 1700 megahertz. On here, we're looking at around 2500, 2520 as far as the megahertz goes. I don't really see anything listed on here. I would like to go to Zotac's website just to see, and I'll post it on the screen there. The actual power draw is 450 watts here as opposed to 350 watts on my 3090. I know on my 3090, the recommended power supply for my system is 800 or 750 watts. Most people ran 850 watts. Zotac themselves on their website for this 4090 is saying 1000 watt power supply. So we did get a new power supply to support this system. It is not the new ATX 3.0 version, but it should be plenty. Again, the memory is 24 gigs of DDR6X. The memory speed that we're going to be looking at here from my 3090 to the 4090 is going to be increasing from 19.5 gigabits per second to 21 gigabits per second. So we do have a little bit faster memory bus there. The release date for my 3090 was in 2020. It was around September of 2020. And I did try to get that GPU as soon as it came out. I think I was pretty close there. And the release price of that GPU was $1,500. The release price of this one is $1,600, $1,599. So it did go up $100, but I was definitely lucky enough to get my hands on it again close to release, or pretty much on release date is when I actually got this one here, and we just got delivery yesterday. So let's take this out of the package and take a look. All right, so let's go from the side here. And just as usual, we do have a box in a box scenario. Okay. And you do have pretty nice, sturdy box here. You have that ghosted Zotac gaming logo there. And let's open this up. Okay, so what we're greeted with first is a little bag here. This is probably just the books. Yep, these are just the books here in that little pouch. Let's open this up. We do have a lot of styrofoam there to protect it. That's awesome. And we got the behemoth right here, right up front and center. We're gonna go into that in just a second. So first, let's actually take a look. Now again, this is not the OC card. This is the Zotac 4090 Trinity card. Now, one thing I'm noticing here is it does come with this power adapter that I have to utilize for my new power supply. This one has 3 PCI spots there. Now, let's see if it says any sort of power rating on this. This is from NVIDIA. It does have that sleeved end on it, that fabric tape that a lot of reviewers like Jace 2 Cents was talking about. And it's going to be a tight fit in my case. I just hope this whole thing fits. But I know the power plug he had, and one of these says something different. This one has a garbage logo, like do not throw away on one of the plugs. Anyway, but I think his had 4. This one only has 3 plugs there. So we'll kind of see if I have access to the full range of power for overclocking or not. We may have to get a different plug there, but I do have a 1300 watt power supply that we're going to be using. We do have this really weird cable here. Kind of wonder what this is for. If you know what this is for, definitely let me know in the comment box below. A little bit strange there. Not really sure what that one is for. Maybe like I don't know, maybe like RGB or something like that. And we do have, what is this? I have a feeling I know what this is. Oh yeah. Because of the sheer weight and mass of this GPU, we have a basically a stand for the GPU to help support some of that weight. It has rubberized feet on the bottom there. I don't know if you could all see that. Some rubberized feet on the bottom, and it does have a rubber foot there with a thumb screw. So that way you could set the height in your case, and it's not going to screw down. It's just going to stand underneath it to help support that, because now we're dealing with GPUs that can't even hold their own weight. Oh my gosh, this is insane. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. It's actually kind of comical and a little scary all at the same time. Hopefully I don't break a PC. I kind of wonder how many people are going to break PCI Express slots off their motherboard trying to install this 4090. And have to buy new motherboards. I hope that doesn't happen to anybody, but when you start seeing stands like this, it's a little alarming, just a little bit. But it's cool that they offered it. That must mean that there's a need. And yeah, so now let's get into the meat and potatoes. This thing is really heavy. Oh my gosh. There it is. Oh yeah. Look how pretty that is. Now I do gotta say, it is heavy. This thing is heavy. This is significantly heavier than the 3090. My gosh, it's hard to hold in your hand on one side. Now again, I just came back from the gym, so I am a little bit sore, but geez. So this is actually, I'm actually kind of glad I got my hands on this 4090, the Zotac, because I do gotta say, it's gonna go well in the case. Now my case it's got like a white sort of futuristic theme to it, and a lot of the components inside don't really match too well, but I think this is going to go really well with the theme. And then it has like a really beautiful sort of shapely shroud on it. I mean, look at that front there. The colors are very neutral. You can see this is where the RGB is going to be shining through. And then the back of the card, there is a metal backplate on there, and then you could just see just the components, the back of the actual GPU right there exposed. Now, one thing I do want to show, oof, it's kind of hard to really maneuver this thing. This thing is so freaking heavy. The PCB stops like, let's see, here, right where my finger is. So all of this is all cooler. The PCB stops right there. This thing is massive. Oh my gosh, it's heavy too. And we have, looks like 3 display ports, 1 HDMI. I do have 5 monitors, and I have a splitter that I use to switch on and off my desk monitor or the top monitor when I'm racing. I know the Asus Tuff series and the ROG series have 5 video outputs, so I was kind of hoping to get my hands on one of those. Never seen them actually show up as in stock, so they went quick. I just got this one because it's all I could get my hands on, but honestly, I'm excited. This is going to go well with my build. Unfortunately, that power supply cable is not going to go well with my build, but I think we'll address that at a later time. We also have a sticker here. You can see it on this side here. Let's take this off and read this. What does it say? It actually left a little bit of residue on the back plate there. So this says, please only separate power cables for each. Oh, I'm sorry. Please only use separate power cables for each power connection to maintain voltage stability. Use a 12-volt high power connection if your PSU natively supports it. Else, use only the supplied power adapter cable. Okay. Do not touch the graphics card or its associated components and cables while in use. High power consumption warning. Remove this sticker before use. Oh man, this thing is like, it's huge and it's scary all at the same time. That is crazy. I'm kind of wondering, so when it's installed in my system, it's going to be like this here, right? So that means that stand is going to have to be like here to help. Well, no, I'm sorry. It's going to be like this. So that means that stand is going to be on this curved section by this fan, or maybe even here. Kind of wish there was like maybe like a little lip or flat section that these stands are going to go onto, because this is all so curvy. Not really sure exactly where that's going to hit, but maybe in the midsection here. But yes, let's get to installing this in the in the next video, hopefully soon. I've already finished the testing with my 3090. Right now, I'm going to post this video. I'm going to break down my system and start installing the new power supply. We got a EVGA Supernova 1300 watt gold power supply, so that should be great. That should just work just fine. And we're going to install this beast and then resume the testing, especially with VR. I'm super excited to see how this all works. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video sheds a little light to not only what this GPU is like, because it's absolutely gorgeous, but just the size of it. And maybe that would be a little bit of a warning if you all have smaller systems, that if you are wanting to upgrade to something like this, you may also now have to start looking at the size of your case, because I'm not really sure if this is going to be supported in most ATX cases or most systems. Oh, man, especially if you have a front mount radiator on the inside. I don't know. This is getting kind of sketch at this point. But everyone, stay safe, stay happy, and I'll catch you all very soon next time.